only reason I'm making this video right now is because I got kicked out of the war room after 3 months, and I wanted to give you my experience of being a war room member at the age of 19 years old. Then also, I'll reveal to you the exact reason that I got kicked out of the war room so fast. I don't know if I'm kicked out or banned permanently, but I did get kicked out very recently, and since then, they've cut all communication ties to me. Haven't been able to speak to the communications liaison or anything, so I'm just guessing that I'm banned permanently. And no, this is not going to be a biased video. I'm not going to promote no affiliate links, no referral links to the war room. There is an option to do so if you're a member, but I'm no longer a member, but I wouldn't do so anyway, simply because this is a video telling you what really goes down inside of the war room. I'm not trying to refer you inside of the war room. I'm just trying to tell you what happened to me and my experience being so young in the war room. I'm going to keep this video 100% transparent and honest, so please bear with me. And I probably won't be allowed back in after this point, but you know what? It's fine. So first things first, I actually joined the war room back in April of 2023, not too long ago. And back then it was actually pretty simple to join the war room. So I saw one of the Tate's YouTube shorts and I clicked the link in the description. It sent me to this landing page. And on the landing page was another link to a Telegram. So I go on the Telegram and I'm basically asking the chat moderator like, hey, how can I join the war room? So at this point, I didn't know that the fee to join was thousands of dollars. I thought it was gonna be that little 50 bucks thing that everybody else was doing. I was like, cool, let's do it. So I said, hello, can I please join the war room? And he said, okay. And then he sent me the money amount and I was like, oh, well, I'm already this far now, so why would I stop? You feel me? Now, I was panicking a little bit when I first joined because I just spent all this money and I didn't find any of the videos or any of the courses that I was promised. So I was confused about what I just paid for. So I went back to the chat moderator and I'm asking him like, bro, like, where's the content? Where are the videos? Where's the chats? And it took him a whole day to respond and actually put me in the correct channels. So when I first joined, I was just in a Telegram by myself. I'm like, where's the courses? Where's the money at? You feel me? So it's the next day I got put inside of all of the right courses and channels that I would need. Now I'm already thinking like this is sounding a little bit scammy, like in my head while I'm in the chat, because that whole day period that I was waiting, I didn't get any news as to why I wasn't in the right chat. So I thought I got scammed at first. The next day when I joined, those ideas still didn't leave my mind, but it was a little bit more reaffirming that I was actually in the right chat now, you know? Now, you may be asking, why is it so significant, the fact that you're 19 in the war room? Well, it's significant because everyone in the war room looked as if they were like 35 years and up. And that's nothing wrong with that. But like being one of the youngest people in the chat, it was like people really didn't respect me as much. But my whole thing is, if I have the money to be in here just like you know, you can maybe, you know, refer to me back some of the same respect that I'm giving to you, but it just didn't seem to be that way. It was a lot of egotistical people in the chat, and that's why I'm making this video, to kind of explain my experience with that at such a young age. But listen, I'm not an Andrew Tate or Tristan Tate hater at all. You know, I just found their content and I thought it was pretty interesting because they had such a huge following in such a short period of time, and I wanted to join and learn how they did that. I wanted to see what their exact marketing strategies were and how they applied those to the different channels and different things like that, because it was interesting to me how Andrew Tate doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he has so many channels that reproduce his content for him and push it out, that he just gets so much support. And I thought that was a really interesting case study, and that was one of the main reasons why I joined the war room. I wanted to learn how to do that. So obviously I can't show you everything in the war room simply because we have to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Basically states that if you share anything in the chats or the telegrams or the courses, you will get sued for like $5 million. And me personally, I can't handle no type lawsuit like that right now. Like, I can't fight with the Tates like that in this courtroom. I just can't do it, bro. So I'm not going to give you the exact screenshots and stuff, but I can pretty much paraphrase and tell you about what's going on in the chat, if you get what I'm saying. So as you know, the war room is basically a bunch of Telegram chats and different channels that you can go in and talk to different members. You can see different courses, videos, and different explanations on different money-making methods. There's a chat for business. There's a chat for dating and relationships, like how to get girls. There's a chat for, you know, how to make money online. There's a chat for, you know, how to do different things, pretty much. That's the basics of it. Now, I thought this was a little bit weird because the first thing that they make you do when you join the war room is watch a movie. And I can't say what movie it is, but if you know anything about the Tates and about their message, you know which movie it is. It's the movie that they reference the most in their videos and their short form content. So they make you watch a movie, and once you watch the movie, then you can start getting introduced to the other members and things like that. I thought it was weird, but I did it. One of the moderators from the chat actually came and told me like, hey, the Telegram chat is cool, but to really immerse yourself, you need to meet the other members face to face. So what they did was they organized, like the weekly or monthly Zoom meetings. And I was able to join one of them because I think it was like 2 or 3 days in the future. So I just waited till that day and then I joined the Zoom. So this was like a new member orientation type Zoom. There was a guy running the actual meeting. And then he was pretty much just making us go down the line and introduce ourselves, say what industry we're in and what we wanted to learn or what we wanted to gain from being in the war room. So the first thing that I noticed was there was a guy that was like on the job while in the war room. He was like a trucker, I'm pretty sure. He had like a tripod set up on the dashboard, and he was like driving his big rig 18-wheeler truck like while on the Zoom. I thought that was pretty cool because it just showed the dedication that he really wanted to be a part of the war room. So I thought it was pretty cool. There was another guy that looked like he was an air marshal because he was on the Zoom like sitting in a plane, but like he was in like one of the seats. He wasn't like in the front cockpit. He was in a plane, like an airplane seat, but it didn't look like it was anybody near him. So I just assumed that he was an air marshal. He might have been a flight attendant or something like that. I don't really know, but he was on a plane. Might have been a private jet, but it just looked like a commercial plane while on the Zoom. And I thought that was also pretty cool. So I noted that for sure. But again, the one thing that I didn't see was anyone that like slightly resembled me in any way, shape, or form, meaning my age and low-key even the color of my skin. Now, I'm not one to really point things like that out because quite frankly, that's not really a big deal to me, but I did just take small mental notes of that because I knew that if anything went south with me in this chat, I was going to make a video on it simply because I wanted to spread the awareness that I didn't know about before I joined the chat. You know what I'm saying? If you guys also have any new questions that you want to ask me about the chat in particular that I can't touch on in this video, shoot me a DM on Instagram. It'll be in the description below. I can go into more detail there because I don't really run the risk of being sued. You know what I'm saying? So if you have any specific questions about how you join, what you see, whether it's inside, whether it's worth it or not, hit me up on Instagram. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. So during that first meeting, we had pretty much like a powwow, get to know each other time. So we were all going around talking about our different industries that we work in. I talked about how I do YouTube and how I do drop shipping as my main two sources. And, they were asking me for drop shipping advice, and I was, providing that advice because I didn't know. I thought we were all going to share different info and different insights to help each other out. But when it was their time to pretty much tell me about their field and how they got started and how they started making so much money, there was one guy selling things on Etsy. There was one guy that was, he wasn't drop shipping, but he was doing e-com in some certain way. He wouldn't even elaborate how he was doing e-com or even in what field or anything, which I thought was really strange, but I didn't mind at first because I'm thinking, okay, he must be a secret bajillionaire just trying to keep his hustle on the low. So I kind of respected it, I guess. Another thing that struck me the wrong way was that inside of the chat, there was always a sense that you needed to upgrade to get to the next level or get more courses or get more insight and more connections. And joining with that first initial fee and then having to pay another $1,000, then another $1,000, then $500, and then you have to pay $2,000 and $3,000, then $4,000 just to get these different chats and different groups and different courses didn't seem right to me because I just paid this flat fee, which was still a lot of money, to join the chat. Then once I joined the chat, you wanted me to pay all these other fees, and I'm just like, bro, like, what do you expect from me? I can't. Now, if you're considering joining the war room and if you think that it will help get farther in life and things like that, I would say go ahead and definitely check it out. But just be cautious and make sure to evaluate that financial hit that you're going to take, from spending that amount of money to join. The whole paying for more courses thing really stuck out to me because I felt as though once I joined, all the courses and the additional insight and information would be free. But it wasn't. Also in the war room, there was like this main guy who was the leader. I can't say who he is, but he does have a, slightly significant presence on social media as well. He basically was telling everyone about how like he handles situations with his women and things like that. I wasn't really too interested in all of that, so I kind of tuned him out, but he was also there and he was kind of like the, the orchestrator for the events pretty much. I know my whole channel is supposed to be about how to make money and different money making methods for teens and young people and, people that just want to make money from home. But I feel like this video was important because I went through something in the chat and I wanted to really tell you guys about it because it was interesting to me. Now, let me tell you the actual reason that I got kicked out of the war room. I got kicked out of the war room because they want you to re-up or, pay more every couple months to keep your membership. Now, once I dropped this big bag as the flat fee to join, I didn't want to pay another $750,000 to stay in the chat for another 3 months. I thought it was crazy. And me personally, I didn't see the value in staying in because I really didn't gain that much from being inside of the war room, except being able to say that I was inside of the war room. You have to pay like $2,200 to renew your membership every couple months. And then if you do it by year, then it's a little bit less. But me personally, I'm like, bro, I'm not spending another band to stay in this chat. And I'm not really learning anything. So I just took my money And I left. And one day I tried to get back on the chat and it said my access was revoked. And I just knew what had happened, bro. As a result, they pretty much was like, you're out. And I didn't have an issue with it because I decided not to, you know, re-membership, sign up stuff and do all that extra stuff because I was pretty much over with the whole situation. But that's my experience as a 19-year-old inside of the war room. If you did appreciate it and like this video, please hit the like button down below and please subscribe. We're trying to hit 120,000 subscribers. If you want a part 2 to this video, I can go more in depth about certain things that I saw, certain people that I met without like saying their names and stuff. Let me know down in the comments. And again, if you want to know anything in specific or in particular, DM me on Instagram. I can give you a little bit more context there without the thought of being sued. So it's your boy KyWavyyy. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'm gone, gang. Peace.